Hey everyone, this is John with Lead Capture IO, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to add your lead capture form that you built in Lead Capture IO right into a WordPress page or site. So first, I'll show you how to embed your form. We'll embed it right into this section. Then I'll show you how to make the form pop up on click. So for example, when someone clicks on the Get a Fast Free Quote button, the form will pop up. Then I'll show you how to make the form pop up on exit or be a timed pop up in case you would like it to pop up across a single page or multiple pages. And I'll also show you how to use our on-site messaging feature to boost conversion rates. So let's get started with a simple embed into the page. So the first prerequisite here is that you need to have your lead capture form set up and all of your steps together, and you need to have an entry step set. If you do not have an entry step and if you do not have your steps connected, then there's a chance that it may break and not actually show up on your page. So make sure your form is all set up. We have tons of documentation on how to do that if you need help, and if you run into problems, feel free to reach out to support@leadcapture.io. We're always happy to help you out. Now, once your form is set up, we're going to focus on embedding it. So go on into settings and go to form mode. And make sure that the mode is set to either all or embed. In this example, we're just going to set it to embed it. I'll click Save Changes, and now we're going to go to Publish. Now there's two simple steps that you need to follow to embed your lead capture form right into your page in WordPress. The first is to click this pixel script section, and you're simply just going to copy the script and paste it into your page. We'll do that in a second here. Then the second is to go to step 2, choose behavior options, go to embed lead form, and then you can choose one of these snippets of code, and this basically is telling the system where the form should appear. So let's start out with this first line of code here. Now the thing to note about this code is basically communicating back with Lead Capture IO, and it's making the entire form work. So this is what's loading the colors that you see, the social proof text that you see, all the steps, and then also communicating with the system to post the leads back into the right place. This unique code right here is unique. It's a unique token that's unique to this form only. So for example, if you have a different form and you would like to embed that different form on a different page, then that form will have a completely different token. This is how we distinguish the difference from one form to another inside of Lead Capture IO. In fact, if you were to click regenerate code, this token would be regenerated, and then you would have to re-add it back into your page. So always make sure what you're adding into your WordPress page matches exactly what's here. So just click copy token, and now I'll go into the WordPress page. And you'll see that I'm just using a basic WordPress setup, but Lead Capture IO works across all WordPress themes here. So I'm going to scroll down to where I want to embed the form, and then I'll just paste this code here. Actually, this code could be added to the top of the page, the bottom of the page. You can even add it to the header section of your page if you would like, but I'm just going to simply drop it here. And then we're going to go back into the system. We'll go to step 2, and you can either choose this snippet of code or this snippet of code. They're both practically the same. The main difference is one starts with div class or div ID, the other is with div class. I'll just go with the div class version. I'll copy that, paste it in, and this is saying make the form work. This is saying make the form appear here. And then I'll click save. And now let's open up the page, and there's the form. Just like that, the form loaded for us. So let's say we want this form to also appear at the bottom of the page. Looks like it already is because I think I have some code there. We'll scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there is that's not the code, and here's the code. So you'll see that I already pasted that div class embed form code right into the bottom of the page. And this is basically, again, saying make the form appear at the bottom of the page. Now, the key thing to note here is you only need this added to the page once. Do not add it to the page twice. If you do add it to the page twice, your form may start to load multiple times, like one too many times. However, this code here, this snippet of code that you're adding, you can add this as many times as you'd like. It really just depends on how many times you want the form to appear on your page and the placement of the form. So it's really all there is to it. To get it onto your WordPress page, to embed it into your WordPress page, you just need to have the form mode set to embed it, and then you need to just add these 2 lines of code to your site. If you can copy and paste, then you can do it. Now let's talk about how to get it to pop up with a click of a button. So one of the unique things about Lead Capture IO is our lead capture forms can be embedded and set to pop up all at the same time without having to use a bunch of different forms. So if you want it to also click up, to also pop up on click, what you would do is go back to settings, go to form mode, choose the all option, because this is basically saying allow the form to pop up on click and be embedded. And then the form mode, I'm just going to toggle off time pop up for now. And then what you need to do is go into your page here. So we'll go back to the page. We're going to go to the button. We'll click into the button, and there's 2 things we have to do. The first is we want to set the target URL just to be a hash sign. The second is we need to update the class of the button. In this case, the class of the button can be found inside of publish, and then you'll go to trigger with button click, and then you're just going to grab this line of code here, lead forms trigger -el, copy that, go back to the page and paste it in. Now, depending on what theme you're using, the button class will probably be in a different place. But again, this should work for all WordPress themes. Click Save. Let's reopen it. And then you'll see that the on-site message popped up. We'll walk through that in a minute. But if you click it, now it opens with the click of a button. So if we want it to open, let's say there's another button. I don't know if I have one on this page. It looks like I don't. But if we wanted the form to open, let's say there's a button here, it'd be the same exact process. Now I'm going to show you how to add the lead form as a pop-up on the page. So we just walked through how to add it as a click pop-up. But what if you want to also engage someone as they're leaving your site, or after they spend something like 20 seconds on your page? Well, to do that, all you need to do is go back to settings, make sure the form mode is set to all, go to pop-up behavior, and then you can choose between time pop-up and exit pop-up. So if you choose time pop-up, you'll see that you have a number of different options. You can set the pop-up delay, the frequency, and you can even segment by device. If you go with exit intent pop-up, all you have to do is enable the switch, and then what will happen here is as someone's going to leave your site, the form will pop up. Or if they're on mobile, if they click the back button on mobile, the form will pop up. So that's all you have to do to get the form to pop up on a time pop-up behavior and exit pop-up. The next thing that I wanted to highlight is the on-site message feature. So you probably already noticed this when I was working on the click pop-up. If you look to the bottom right-hand corner, one of the things that makes Lead Capture IO extremely unique is we have this on-site messaging feature, which is designed to help drive engagement with your lead capture forms to then help boost conversions and drive in more leads. So all you need to do to ensure that the on-site messaging feature is enabled is go to Settings, On-Site Message, and then you can just enable the on-site message. So you can enable it by flipping the switch here. You can choose if you want it on mobile, and you can even change the message that appears in the bottom right-hand corner. For example, if you want the message to say something like get a free estimate or a free consultation, you would just type that in, and then it will appear on the page right in this section. Now, let's say you want the on-site message and the pop-up to persist across a number of different pages. In this case, we've just discussed how to do this across one page, but let's say you want this to be across all pages. Now, in this case, if you wanted to persist across multiple pages, what you would do is you would add it to the header section of all of your pages. And you can do this in a number of ways. You can do this through Google Tag Manager, you can hard code this into your WordPress theme, or you can just use a plugin. I like to go with the plugin route and just use a plugin called the Insert Header and Footer plugin. In fact, I have this installed on my WordPress instance. It's a free plugin. To get the form to pop up across all of your pages, all you need to do is go back into Lead Capture IO, go to Pixel Script, copy your token, and then go back into the Insert Headers and Footers, paste it in, click Save. And just like that, the form is now configured to work across any page that you would like it to appear on, not just a single page. The use case for something like this would be you're just looking to use the pop-up feature and the on-site messaging feature, and you're not looking to use the embedded feature and you want it to appear across multiple pages. Now, there's two more quick tips that I want to share before I wrap this up. The first is around boosting conversion with the on-site message feature. So what we have found at Lead Capture IO is if you adjust this message to match the actual page that somebody is looking at, then you can really boost conversion rates. For example, if someone goes to this termite control page and the message that shows up here, you won't see because I don't have this form installed here, but if the message says looking for a termite control quote or get a fast free termite control estimate or something like that, then there's a good chance that you'll see a higher conversion rate than just using a generic message. So in that case, what I would recommend doing is always trying to customize your on-site message to match the page that the prospect is looking at. We have some really effective ways to make all of this dynamic if you have tons and tons of different pages. You can find more information about that inside of our documentation. The second key tip here is if you're using an embedded form and you want there to be almost zero lag time when the form is loading, then you can use what we call the raw code feature. Now with the raw code feature, it basically allows you to generate a different version of the form that loads much faster. There's almost no lag time. So you would just click that generate button like I just did, copy the code and add it right into the page where you would like the form to load. This is typically used for embedded forms. Now the only downside to using raw code, and we have plenty of documentation on this that you can go in and review, but the downside to using raw code is anytime you make a change, you need to regenerate the raw code. So for example, if you were to change the button color or text on the form, you just need to come back in and click regenerate, copy the code and add it right back into your page. So those are all of the steps that you need to take to get your lead form set up on WordPress. There's really not a lot to it. You just have to copy a couple of lines of code, drop it right into your page, and then you should be good to go. If you run into any problems or need any assistance, feel free to reach out to support@leadcapture.io. Thank you.